मेरे को जंगल चाहिए. I am creating the architecture, but मेरे को जंगल चाहिए. Now how you guys are going to make that jungle and also make it look good is what you have to come and show to me. I mean, that was his brief the very first day. So he was always very sure. In fact, Mr. Katish also was very sure that they just wanted thick greens to be around them.
The architecture and interiors are done by Mr. Aamir Sharma, so the pressure is double, triple, 100 times, you can just imagine, because it has to be perfect from every side, every nook and corner, everything has to be perfect. So the ape was actually meant to be right in front of the main door opening, because that was like, this is a party place. You know, this is going to host a lot of parties. And that was like the first thing that we wanted every visitor to see and probably smile or laugh or, you know, have a conversation around it. But while the entire setup was being done, Mr. Aamir really thought that this particular cutout would be better for the ape because it gets the direct sunlight on his face, and also it's like a bigger surprise element because once you walk in through the house you see multiple cutouts and multiple courtyards, and there's this one guy sitting right in middle of the courtyard. You know, that's like a huge surprise element. Nobody would even expect something like that to be there. So yeah, we just went with the flow and you know, got the ape transformed here. You walk a certain distance and then you realize, oh, this is there. And then you walk a few more steps and then you realize, oh, this is another thing. You know, so like you rightly mentioned that there are a lot of layers and there are a lot of screening that is done to create these pockets. The parking is tucked away, the main lawn is tucked away, the pickleball court is tucked away. You know, you don't get the entire vision of the property at one go. You have to explore, you have to take a few steps, you have to walk a certain distance to really get the feel of the entire space. And then the pool is, you know, towards the end, right after you cross the entire house. That is where you realize, oh, this property also has a pool. You know, so every time you take a few steps, you have that element of surprise, and you also try to, you know, pull these layers out one by one and really feel that you are beautifully placed in between nature.
So actually the first time when we came to the site also there were these, the structure was not done but these mango trees existed. So we always try to ensure that they survived. Now the courtyard that we are talking about, the essence of it starts from that mango tree because that was one of the biggest mango trees on site. The idea always was how do we bring that aspect into the house. So the design of the structure has been done by Aamir sir. Like he also was, I would say 1000% insistence that no, these trees have to be there, they have to survive, and the construction has to be done in such a way that no harm happens to those trees. So it also becomes a cozy space because it's also right next to the master bedroom of the house. So when they step out, they are able to get into that space. The client, him and his wife are pretty young themselves. They're pretty young, dynamic couple themselves. So it's like, keeping their youthness to the space also. That's the whole idea of the jhula also being there in that particular space. But again, still grounding to the lifestyle and everything, we have kept the jhula not very modern, but a little bit more towards the traditional side of it.
Both of them also were very supportive in terms of the elements that we have added, the ape, the three faces, the two big trees that are there in Courtyards. Transplanting a fully grown tree is an expensive affair and quite a challenging affair. And also the survival rates of full grown trees are much lesser than the saplings. These two trees, the ones that are in the courtyard, these are bottle brush trees. The chances of survival of a fully grown tree is much lesser because you're moving it from its own habitat to a new place. The client has to be mentally prepared whether it's going to survive or not. So that's a huge challenge and a huge risk that you take, right? So that way, I think the client and the architect, both of them were very supportive, and they said, okay, go ahead, let's just, leave the rest to Mother Nature.
Also, the fact that this farmhouse was designed keeping in mind that this was more like a party place or a place to host friends and family. It did not remove the fact that this was also their private space. It's their own personal farmhouse where they also use this space to get away from their daily hustle and bustle. So I think the layering, the structure that was created was to give the space its openness, at the same time its privacy.
The architecture is designed in a way that it's not all boxy, it's not all windows and ACs. The architect has ensured that he brings the nature inside the house, he brings the landscape into the house, so that wherever you're passing by, you feel that fresh air. And like, because of these pockets, the wind is funneling through the house and traveling, right? So that's the beauty, the way the house is designed.
If you actually look at the courtyard, they are all placed in between different rooms. Like the courtyard we are sitting in is placed between the dining kitchen and the guest bedroom. The courtyard in the chimpanzee is between the master bedroom and the second bedroom. There's one courtyard between the master bedroom and between the courtyard which holds the chimpanzee. So all of them are basically uh, creating buffer spaces between each of the rooms that we have. So they play a dual role. They bring the landscape in to the whole house, and they also create that buffer zones between each of the rooms that is there within the house. So each of the courtyards is basically just creating a path and also segregating the rooms, giving everybody their own privacy, that kind of an activity.
And the passage kind of acts like a spine that is connecting all these pockets. So that entire planning is done by Mr. Aamir Sharma, where he decided to kind of break the rooms to its individual dwellings and then connect it through landscape.
Creating these courtyards has allowed a lot of natural light to come into the house. There's no need to have an artificial light in the space like this. So, I mean, at any point of day, there is sunlight coming into the house from some side. Like the day starts with the sunlight coming in through the main entrance and the pool side. When you're in the midday, it's the central of the house. Towards the end of the day, you have the sunlight coming in towards the master bedroom and the dining space. So there's no shy of light in this space. So every space in the house looks out not into a constructed space but into a green space. I think that's what everybody today wants, right? They don't, I mean, living in the city, they all see the concrete. Now they want to see the greens.
The plant palette also that we have used predominantly is conducive to the weather. We have used majority of palms. So palms are the ones that will survive in any weather condition, and because this is a holiday home, they don't need that much care and attention as well. The kalathias that you see, the yellow bamboo that you see, the yellow bamboo is very resilient again, and it will survive in any weather condition. So that was also kept in mind while selecting the plant palette, to ensure that they don't need to put in too much effort, this being a holiday home. The materials that we've used black limestone everywhere. That's like the easiest limestone that you can source, and the most simplest form of being a stone, a natural stone, you know. It's a black limestone, it's a kadapa stone. The beauty of it is the texture. The texture, the finish of the stone is what you actually see that enhances the space. The cladding and the landscape and the planting need to look like it's made for each other. So I think it was a fabulous decision to actually wrap the house in this uneven broken stone. We wanted that natural look to continue throughout. We have to talk about the rock bench. That was a task actually, to bring that in and to set it in, because we need to place the rocks before the actual landscape work starts so that it settles down in the soil. And then the bench was actually scooped out here on site. It was a huge rock which was just placed there, and nobody actually visualized how this is going to look and what is going to happen to this. So once they started scooping out the rock to create the seat, that is when everybody understood, okay, this is like a seater with the beautiful livistonias that are planted around it, and the terminalia, and also the rock that is holding the temple tree that is right in the corner of the lawn. So that was like one of the most beautiful focal elements that we wanted to bring in, because I think the site itself had a lot of rocks, but we were not able to when they were removing the rocks, they were not able to sustain it. Like the rock that you see at the entries, that is from the site, that we have retained it from the site. So yeah, I mean, that whole beauty of the hardscape and softscape coexisting and going hand in hand was also the main criteria of designing the entire space. We had like huge cranes coming in and placing the rocks where we wanted. So yeah, it was a fun activity. And the scooping out of rock, I think, took a month to make a bench. It almost took a month.
It was also a lot of site dependency. A lot of work was happening when that was going on. So, but yeah, I think it took almost 35 days to finish the works on the rocks. Yeah.
So when we were designing the lawn was predominantly required to host larger gatherings. But we didn't want it to be like a plain lawn, an empty lawn without any character, without any texture. So we created these nooks and corners, and also like the boulder, which is right in the center. Like you would really not expect like a boulder bench right in the center of the lawn, because typically the party lawns are empty and designed to host like a lot of people. So I think that is where we brought in the value addition to the entire space, that how can you elevate a lawn that could otherwise look very simple and plain, and how could we add these elements to create these layers within, and these cute corners and cozy corners where people can just grab a drink and sit to have like a one-on-one conversation with a friend or your spouse, or something like that. I think that was the entire idea, to create these pockets of interest in the entire lawn space. The bench that is sitting in the corner of the lawn, where the plant is so beautifully growing above it and creating like a natural canopy on the bench. And even as a designer, you would never imagine that the canopy is going to cover on top of the bench and give you that beautiful corner to actually go sit down even during the day where it's creating a natural shadow, and also the wind is blowing so beautifully. So I think that is my favorite corner.
Turtles, like when we were looking at the elements for the farmhouse, when we were doing the selections, we wanted them to be there at the site. We wanted them to be there in the project, but when we actually bought them, we had not realized where we would exactly want to place them. It's once we got them to the site, then we decided, okay, place the placement of it near the pool. But like when we had gone for the selections and we had seen it, we were like, all of us were 100% sure we wanted it. So it's just that we got it and then we decided where to place it on site.
So yeah, I mean, with being a farmhouse, there was a requirement of a dedicated activity to be added, because usually it happens that initial 1 year, you enjoy the house and then you get bored of it and then you don't have a reason to come back. So there were two things that definitely will make the client keep coming back. One is the pool, the beautiful pool, and the pickleball, because he's, like Shashwat said, the client is a young guy and he has lots of friends, so they all come over and they have like a dedicated activity that they all do together, apart from the usual hectic work schedules that everybody has.
And I think the biggest shout out we like to give is to Mr. Aamir, because I think he had a certain amount of trust on us, and I think he's pretty happy with what we have given to him and to the client, because I don't think there has been at any point of time that he had any iota of doubt of what we wanted to do at site.
Yeah,
He always said
us.
yes.
Yeah.
He always just said yes, go ahead. Um, if he had any doubts, he would clarify it. But I don't think he's ever said no.
That's one hell of a dream client and one hell of an architect that we got to work with.
And this is our hinterland.